Let's get it. All right. What's going on, everyone? This is the DC Incentives Podcast, episode 29. Yes, 29. Hey. Everyone. We have a special guest. Already know what it is. Please, but this is my man. He's an entrepreneur, businessman. Please introduce yourself.
Wow, I'm honored. Thank you guys so much for the humble introduction. Humble. My name is Justice Pitt Goodson. I am founder and creative director of Brownmill Company. We're a lifestyle brand based out of Newark, New Jersey, also based out of Piscataway, New Jersey. I just describe it as a community brand. We serve the community, and the community, aids and supports us. So that's my introduction.
That's nice.
Let's go. Yeah. All right, so we got a couple of questions for you about Brownmill. The name Brownmill, how'd you get that started?
Yeah, it comes from my grandparents. Everything about I say it over and over is really about family. So my mom recommended when we were talking about it's named for the business, for the brand. She's like, what about Brownmill? And I was like, that sounds amazing, because my grandfather's middle name is Brown and my grandmother's first name is Mildred. So, just breaking down their names to pay homage to their legacy and what they stood for. I just thought that was, perfect. Because when you're trying to build something that's, long-term and, not just anything trendy, it's important that you have a strong foundation. So what better foundation, inspirational family members and matriarchs of the family,
Yeah, it sounds very warm.
Honestly, I think of butter. When I think of Brownmill, I think of butter. Yeah, I think those brown butter containers. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Like those
country. What's it called?
It's like
country
the butter
something.
Crock or something like
Is
that.
it country crock? I think it's country crock, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, when I heard the name Brownmill, I said, "Damn, I want some oatmeal now."
It's funny because they're from the South, and it also gives you that Southern, old time feel. But also you can reimagine it also as something modern and just, I don't know, it can go a whole bunch of ways. That's what I appreciate about the name, and super blessed we just landed on that one.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Let's go. That's beautiful. So talk about what made you do for the store, and you having the clothing line for Brownmill. Like, how did that get started?
Well, when I was younger, I just loved entrepreneurship, just kind of hustling, whether it was cutting hair, or selling candy or selling sneakers at a young age. I just did it, and I always liked to dress well. So it was like, all right, let me just figure out how to do it for myself. And I started by making bow ties and ties in middle school, then into high school. Then I met two of my partners, who are still my partners today, Taha.
Wait, you made your own ties?
Yeah. I started off 8th grade making bow ties. That's how Brownmill started.
Like sewing the bow ties and then selling them? Who taught you how to do that?
I taught myself. My tutor at the time, she let me borrow a sewing machine. And I kept asking my mom, hey, Mom, can you use it? But, she's a single mother, full-time police officer. She's like, we'll get down to it. I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to figure it out. And I just did. I just started making ties, selling them. Looking back at it, there were some of the worst ties ever. But back then, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. It was like, this is it. I got the vision.
How much did you used to sell them for?
Probably $15, $20 at most.
That's a steal.
Yeah,
that really is a steal.
Sure. But, it's just like, I didn't know. I used to go to a whole bunch of, what do you call it, vending events and, all types of stuff like that. But I met my partners in high school and kind of added T-shirts to the mix and other stuff. Because, high school, middle school kids, they don't want to wear bow ties. It's really the adults that are like, oh, that's cute, that's cool. But it was like, once I got to high school, I was like, all right, I need to figure something out so we can, make it so that everybody in school is rocking it. So we started doing T-shirts. My partner, Ty, he's a graphic designer. So he started, doing a lot of designs and stuff like that. And my other partner, Kwaku, He's more of the salesman side. So we had a little system going, man. And yeah, those were our early humble beginnings.
I like that you guys is literally like formed the Justice League.
Yeah.
You got the high tech end, like, you know, I love hearing that. Like,
thank you, man.
Yeah. I see that what TC said, like, you know, the Justice League. So it's a family business, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of family involved in it, but also, you know, I have other people. Like my two partners aren't family, but I still call it a family business. You know, I consider everybody my team family. You know,
that's right.
So.
You better go to Fast and Furious route.
Yeah.
Right?
Man,
Just get that.
Yeah, what's his name? Is Vin Diesel?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Straight up, it's literally like that. That's me.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you met your partners? Your future partners, anyway. You remember how you met them in high school?
Ty, I'd known him since middle school, so I think it was more of like, you know what it was? I was already doing it, and Ty came to me, was like, "Yo, I got this design," and it was like, you know, Supreme is popping, but it was really popping back then. He had a design that had the Supreme box, but instead of Supreme, it was like sour cream, and it was cool. It was different. So I was like, you got something. And then my other partner, Quaco, had sold him a bow tie, and he was like, he just, you know, was like, yo, all right, I'm gonna start selling these. I was like, all right, cool, and that was it.
That's all. I like how easy it just gelled together.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's really good. Yeah.
Straight up, man. Once again, even with that was just like super blessing because, you know, I know a lot of people have other partners. I mean, you know, I don't know, they have bad experiences with partners and stuff, but I safe to say, like, we would not be here without them and the rest of my team. So, you know, them being placed in my life, being placed in theirs, was like yin and yang, man. Really, really through God. So,
talk about more about teamwork for the audience. Talk about how to build a team when you are a CEO and a founder.
I was talking about this with someone the other day. I think that everything starts from, you know, just the leadership. If you carry yourself away, you know, people are going to gravitate toward that. And, you know, if you're doing the right things, I think the right people will gravitate toward that. If you're being honest and true about what you're doing and, you know, holding yourself accountable, being disciplined, they're going to follow suit. So building a team, I think, starts with yourself and, you know, having like-minded people that also understand the common goal. And the last part of it is getting rid of the ego. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times teams don't work and projects don't work, communities don't work because there's a lot of ego involved instead of focusing on the mission at hand. So those are my biggest 3 points: no ego, accountability, and leadership.
Now,
Gems.
It's the three of you that started the company, right? So is there really a leader amongst you?
Or we're all leaders. We're all leaders.
I love that.
I was watching this. I've one video. I don't know if you guys are religious or not. Even if you aren't, TD Jakes talks about what leadership is, and it's doing the best in your position because the janitor can be the leader as long as like you're doing your job to the best of your ability. That is contagious, man, and people are going to see that. And all right, cool. Ricky's mopping these floors consistently. This is motivating, man. He's a person that sets a standard for himself and supersedes it. So I mean, that it's really contagious. Leadership starts from your position. I think that everybody that works, you know, under Brownmill, I consider them a leader. And like I said, there's one common goal. For me, my position, I'm just fortunate to kind of be steering what that looks like through my experience. Because like I said, I started, you know, in 8th grade, and all through that, I did a lot of internships, a lot of apprenticeships. So because of that, I just can craft a vision a little bit more. So that's why I'm in the place that I'm in. But other than that, you know, everybody else is also a leader here. Sorry if there's a little background noise. I got some people in the store.
Good.
I like that you said everybody's leaders, because I often see when somebody like tells themselves like I'm the leader of this group, I think that's where the ego start coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when people start looking at you in a different light, because it's like, okay, you think you're better than us now.
Yes.
I like that. At the end of the day, as a team, everybody's individual job is the company, is the life of the company.
Yeah,
and 100%. Like when you said that, I hope people really pay attention and hear that, because that's something very important right there.
Yes,
all leaders here.
All leaders, not.
I have a unique experience with that. Before this podcast, I had a friend of mine try to start his own podcast. And because he started it and thought that my friends and I would be good pieces for the podcast, somewhere along the way, he just went power hungry before we even had our own episode. And he started talking about how he's the CEO, he runs this. Without him, nobody would be here. And this was all during practice runs. It was the worst leadership I've ever experienced, and it left a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't know somebody could. Yeah, I didn't know somebody could get so power hungry. So how do you prevent yourself from getting to that level? Are you even tempted to get to that level?
That's a good
one. I mean, it's not attractive. You know what I mean? I couldn't. No. Like I said, the goal at hand is the leader. People know when they're messing up. People know when they're doing well, because the goal, everybody knows what the goal is. Everybody knows their position and their role to get there. So it doesn't take. No, I have no will to be that person. I'm gonna answer that. It's like,
I ain't gotta waste your time with that.
Yes.
Listen, I'm trying to make sure everybody here is full time with it. I'm trying to continue being full time with it. It's just like we know what has to be done. So there's no room for that at all.
And one thing I like to share is that, like, a lot of people in society now is that they have this mindset as like, since I'm the CEO and the founder, you have to do what I say mentality versus what they can have is as leadership to have everyone as a team as motivation, or it's like, okay, guys, so this is what we have to do in order to keep this business going, keep this business running. So this is what's going to be in your position. This is what I'm going to do. This is what, that way we can keep the flow going. So let's get this team going.
100%. And it's like you said, I mean, it's not like, I'm kind of describing it like it's not like a utopia kind of free for all here. It's like, like you said, early on, we allocate what needs to be done to who per expertise. So it's like, it's not like you just come and do anything and there's no standards. It's like, no, these are the standards, I may set them just because that's my position to set them, but it's not like, a power thing,
Okay.
So yeah, that has to be set early, and that has to be clear among everybody what the expectations are in order to be held accountable. Because if you don't have that, then it's going to be a free for all and anarchy.
Of course.
Okay, that's that. Yeah, that was a ball. That was a ball. Yeah. That's a gem dropped. Definitely.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Talk about the store. What made you get the store for Newark, New Jersey?
Man, it's so funny because it happened so quickly. Like, top of the year, maybe March, maybe April. I forgot when we made the decision. It was kind of just like, I've been operating out of my mom's and my grandparents' house forever. The last 10 years, we converted the whole basement to inventory, sewing machines. Like I could show you pictures, man, over the last years, how it's transformed. Crazy. But
you would sell the products online and just ship them out from the basement.
Yep. I'll have my aunt shipping. She had a position shipping.
That sounds like Amazon right there. That's how
it was really an operation in my home. But my family this year told me they're selling the house. Actually, right now, they're in the process of selling it. So we had to figure out, okay, are we going to get an office space, which is going to cost money, or are we just going to go ahead and get a store, which is going to cost money? Either way, we're going to be doing production and shipping out of it. The only difference between the two is that if we have an office, the public obviously can't come in and purchase.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're going to invest money into something, let's figure it out so that way people come in and purchase so we can, so it was literally just that type of thinking. Like, okay, we have to go somewhere. Either we're not going to make money off of it or we are. And we just did it. And it was like, COVID is going on. There's never going to be an opportunity where rental spaces are this relatively low.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, let's fail forward if we are going to fail, but God willing, we don't. And, literally within 2 months between that conversation, 2 months or 3 months, we opened up the store. So,
wow.
I mean, luckily we've had years of experience doing pop-ups, so we understand the system of inventory, salesmanship. I've been a manager of many stores and tailor shops in the past too. So, the experience was here, but it's not the same. There's still a lot of stuff we're ironing out and we're learning about, salesmanship and merchandising, but it's been a ball so far. We just celebrated our 2-month anniversary a couple days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Just pushing for that 1 year mark.
Of course.
The way you sound, you're going to make plenty of years.
I appreciate that, brother. Please.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. What next question is, actually, guys, do you have any questions?
Oh, of course, I have tons.
By the way, that person that mentioned is going to be coming in around 5 minutes, so just want to give you guys a head up.
All right.
No problem.
Going back to the leadership roles, what are the qualities that each one of you bring to the table for the business and its success? And how did you know to delegate those roles amongst yourselves?
It happened naturally and also through expertise. So my partner, Kweku, he's into finance and marketing. He actually just stepped down in a role at Goldman Sachs. He's now with Twitter. So because of that expertise in finance and going into marketing, he became the CFO. My expertise in, managing business, my tailoring and design experiences, it was fit. I'm CEO and creative director. My other partner, Taha, he's always been that kind of like get it done and the in-between guy who gets his stuff done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it was fit for him to be the COO of operations. So it just kind of happened naturally, but all that wouldn't be possible if it weren't for, like, I go back to the ego thing, like the willingness to listen to each other, understand each other, and so there's a lot of times, where I think that something is so dope, so amazing, then I present to the team and they're countering it, playing devil's advocate, shooting it down, and initially it's like, man, you get off in your feelings, you know what I mean? But it's like, all right, this is good. We're chiseling at it early on, because if I would have brought this to the table and just put it out instead of consulting with my team, then we would have paid for the mistake. So it's like you have to have a willingness to be humble enough to like understand each other's wisdoms and 2 cents, which ultimately just creates a better experience when we are putting stuff out for the company. So I forgot what the question was, but that's it.
No, you answered it sufficiently. That was very informative.
Thank you.
So one important questions is, talk about when COVID happened last year. Mm-hmm. How was that business? How did COVID affect the business?
It did and it didn't. I mean, when luckily right before COVID happened, we made an initiative to kind of just like get our website and stuff just super on point, as far as inventory tracking and new products on there, new photos on there, updated. And then COVID happened and everybody's online. So it's like, and on top of that, the social justice things are happening. So people are trying to support Black businesses intentionally. So we just kind of like, oh shit, like it's coming in. Yeah. It was like everything was going wrong, but for us, everything was like, oh my God, it's the best month we've had online in ever. So it was like, oh shit. What that also catapulted, us, going into the store, this year. But
how do you explain that correlation? Do you really think it was just universal support for Black businesses, or?
Yeah, man. I mean, at first I didn't think so either, but I've consulted with a lot of my mentors who have, businesses as well. And it was really, between that and also it was so easy too, because people were putting together, directories for Black businesses on Instagram and directories on online. Beyonce had her directory, Black businesses on her website. You know what I mean?
Really?
The Black Parade. Yeah, that was huge.
I'm not social media savvy. I don't go on social media that much, but
my girl, she bought some glasses from like this Black glass maker. I'm like, all right, cool. We do it. So it's just all around the world. It's just like, it paid off for us. I mean, to answer your question, yeah, COVID affected it in a positive way. It's just kind of crazy to say, just because we're in the right position at the right time.
Now, was the business able to get a PPE loan, or
we got not a PPE? We actually never got that. We got something else. It wasn't that much bread though, but a lot of people were hitting for that PPE, man. I'm like, ow! I'm actually a business. Why am I not? Like, what in the world? But I'm not just crying over spilled milk. Whatever.
Of course, because when your business, of course, absolutely. Yeah. So you don't want to rely on government grants and loans. Yeah.
I mean, but it also is pretty strategic too. I mean, like, if we were to, we have to do better at being privy on how to fill those things out properly, and because the money is out there for small businesses, but you just got to know what you're doing. And so I'm actually doing more research now on the correct way to go about that stuff. Because the support is there, and we always need support.
So talk about more of you as a CEO.
I'm gonna pause you right there. Can you guys give me 5 minutes?
All right. That's what's up. TC.
I have a quick question. When it came to your clothes and stuff, what inspired the design behind your clothes? I remember you used to choice of words lifestyle.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of things that go into it, but I think one of the biggest things is like heritage. You know what I mean? As far as the partners go, my family, they're from the South. My other partner, Kweku, his family's from Ghana. My other partner, like I said, is from Morocco. So already, just off of our heritage, in multiple different influences. Then you get into, what inspires you, whether it be streetwear or bespoke. I'm really big on kind of like the cowboy-esque feel of things because I used to ride some horses as a kid. We add kente cloth to a lot of stuff. It's just, a mix of Blackness and just genuine style, and we try to focus on things that aren't trendy, but just things that really just look good and feel good. Yeah, I know that's super generic, but that's the best way I can kind of explain it.
Because I see on your website, guys, check out some of your clothes. I actually have a question after the show.
Yeah.
I see like you have like different styles, but it's still like complements to each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's trying to keep it authentic. I mean, I think when you try to like go out of your way to do something that's just hot or popping, and you lose, just kind of the singularity within everything. It's super important to be singular. Everything complement each other. But that's all testament to just, being authentic to what you like and what inspires you.
Yeah.
Because
I see like you bring out the Black heritage and stuff, but also like maybe I see like the mix of LA, like when it comes to like the shorts, for example.
Oh yeah.
That's just like, I like that. It's dope. So
thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Are there any particular articles of clothing that sell more than others?
1 second, sorry. Sorry about that. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
No, are there any articles of clothing that sell more than others?
Definitely tops. One thing I noticed about being in the store, people buy tops a lot faster than they buy bottoms. Also, the socks that we do are doing really well. Between the socks and the tops, those are our bread and butter.
And would you ever consider just selling what sells best exclusively? and just cutting the fat off of everything else?
No, because we still got to push. We still got to make a push of what we're trying to, get out there. Because I think that on a deeper level, what we want to do is kind of educate the consumer. A lot of times the consumer knows what they want, but may not be introduced to it already, may not be comfortable with it, or can kind of envision themselves in it. So if we have an opportunity to like push, what we see, it's all a matter of timing and how well we do it to influence the consumer. So we're still going to push the things that don't sell as much yet, but ultimately it's to get people to get it. Perfect example. Years ago we tried to introduce cardigans and rugbies, but just the timing was off. The way we displayed it in our photo shoots wasn't as accurate as it should be. But once we got a gist of it, of what triggers people and inspires them, and they can kind of see themselves in it, then you got them. So we're still gonna make. It's weird to say what we want, but of course it's a balance. You also are a business, so you do have to make those things that are consistently selling and are going to sell. So we're still pushing it forward.
So I see that Brownmill is a unique clothing line. Talk about what you talked about, the socks. The socks is very unique, and does all of this what you have, the socks, and I see that shirts have like zippers and pants have zippers or something. So talk about, does that come with measurements, and like talk more about that, like what makes that, like does that take time consuming, like talk more about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's two sides of it. We have our ready to wear stuff, which is our t-shirts, our shorts that's printed. We also have our one of ones that are also ready to wear. In the one of ones, I mean, like we might take some fabric or some old jeans and spice them up with some patches or reinvent them. But that's our ready to wear stuff. People can literally come in and purchase off the rack if it fits them. The other side of it is we also do alterations and custom garments. So the custom garments, of course, take a little longer because you have to deal with people and kind of get a vision of what they want and get it right. The ready to wear stuff, I like it a little bit more just because, especially with the one of ones, because there's no outside influence. From a consumer, it's like this is something I want to experiment on or work on, and I'm gonna do it. And if somebody comes in and is in awe and they buy it, it's a clean transaction. The only time that goes south is when you, like, for instance, I made a pair of jeans a couple weeks ago. Super dope. We put them on the web, on social media. Great, reactions to it. But they're still here, not sold. You know what I mean? So it's also that you put a lot of time into a one of one, and if it's sitting, it's kind of like wasted energy until it's sold.
Gotcha.
So you have to balance it. Of course, I'm not going to sit in here for 2 weeks straight making one of ones because I'm at risk of something not selling. Versus if I were to balance it with custom items, of course you get the money from the customer and you make it and that's it. So it's a balance of your time and efforts, I'd say.
Okay.
Got it. I'd like to talk more about the socks. How is that? I mean, if for the audience, how is that made, the socks?
I think this might have been Diamond Cash's favorite article.
It is. I already purchased 2 socks. I got the green one and I got the black one. I'm ready to purchase like 3 more.
I'm planning to buy about 3 items after this. So
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you how we make them just because we're in the process of getting a what's it called? A
patent?
Yeah. A patent. Yeah, a design patent for it.
That's understandable. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's made with love.
Okay. Definitely. Okay. So as far as like the measurements goes, does that, like, what happens if it gets a mistake goes on, let's say for measurements, is that really important or no?
Of course. I mean, the motto in tailoring is measure twice, cut once. So accuracy is huge. Actually, speaking of, I have my little cousin here from North Carolina. He's like 12. He's interning for the week. And I'm kind of just giving him the rundown of how things work. And it's like everything is built on accuracy and accuracy. You know what I mean? So being diligent about getting things on point is super important. I mean, even besides just making clothes, just you want to focus on the details of stuff, details accumulate. It might not be the big picture, but details compound, and they can be the demise of a business or a person, a project, whether it be personal or, in business. So accuracy and diligence is super important.
Could you walk me through your first day when you opened your doors for your store? What were your thoughts? How did you market the store to make sure people came in, if they came in at all? Walk me through that.
So that's the grand opening. I mean, as far as marketing goes, we went crazy with it. My team's personal social medias, our brand's personal social medias, paid advertisement, text messages to family, to friends, to college mates, emails. Any way we can get it out, we got it out besides newspaper or TV or something like that. So the effort was there. Even for marketing too, the days leading up to the store opening, we had the windows blocked off with just the date of the opening spray painted on it. So when people walk by the store, all they see is June 5th. And they would see us coming in and out with lumber and all types of shit. So the community was already like anticipating it.
Did you spend any money on marketing at all?
Just on paid advertisement on social media. Not much, because like I said, we're a community brand, so people are just really in tune, with us genuinely, because of whether it be college interactions, high school interactions, whatever. People just been following us ever since, so they were already in tune and ready to go. So not much paid advertisement on it, but as far as the grand opening goes, my mentality, I was riding on a high, man, just like not the literal high, but like, just excitement and nervousness. And it took me honestly a while to digest that I had a store. It wasn't like 3 weeks later where I was like, oh, fuck, excuse my language. Oh man, I have a store. Like, and I was sitting across the street at a coffee shop looking at the store like, wow, this is crazy. And part of me still hasn't digested it all, because I think I have like PTSD or something of like losing it. So I'm always just focused on forward, So I've many experiences in life where it's just like you get too excited about something. Nothing is promised. And a mentor of mine told me a while ago, don't get excited over the bad, and don't get excited over the good, and don't get sad over the bad. It's good to keep a level head throughout. I mean, of course you want to celebrate and be happy, but you always want to have a level head throughout to a certain extent. So
what was that turnout like the first day?
It's crazy, man. It was crazy. I mean, record numbers as far as sales, and super support from our people. We popped champagne bottles all throughout the day.
Nice.
It was a line down the street to get in the store. It was crazy. Like,
really?
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Store filled up.
Did you get a lot of people outside of New Jersey also?
Yeah, New York. But yeah, between New Jersey and New York, I think there was the base. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure people travel from other places too. But it was just a lot of love. A lot of love. That's all I got to say. And a lot of love. It's crazy. Crazy.
Love it.
Thank you, man.
Talk about Brownmill's. Actually, switch that. I'm sorry. Talk about mistakes and what advice would you give for people and for you as a CEO and founder?
Mistakes are important. I was literally just writing down. I mean, besides mistakes, just like what aren't you the best at? What can you improve on? I was writing some stuff down today of like, what are my handicaps? How can I improve? Self-awareness is the key to that. You know what I mean? Being self-aware to identify that early on, being self-aware to identify like, oh, this was a mistake. How can I pivot? And having the people around you too, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Not having yes men, yes women. Be like, yo, this could have been better. and you in return having the humility to be like, okay, and not like, then the goal isn't met. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my stance on mistakes.
Now, are there some unique challenges to being a Black clothing store owner?
I never thought about that. Unique. You said unique challenges.
Yeah, right? Something that you don't think your white counterparts might have necessarily experienced.
Funding. I mean, I've been doing this for 11 years. Hard. If a white counterpart, 14-year-old. Man, I was 14 years old in Brooklyn doing internships at 14, like opening up stores and in the subway system, giving them my business cards, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like I was hustling. And I feel like if I were white,
it'd be different.
It'd be a lot different, man.
Doors will open up for you sooner, you think?
Oh man, listen. Even up until like last year, now a year ago, like, I think that'll have been a lot different as far as funding goes, support goes, opportunities go. Yeah, that's the unique challenge I think is different between me as a Black entrepreneur and my counterparts. Another one might be, I don't know. It's maybe a smaller demographic of people that maybe support.
Right. You feel like your marketing base is smaller than it would be for
a white counterpart. I think so. You got to think about. Our consumer base is a huge, minority base, population. So
yeah.
There are a smaller number of minorities in America than than white counterparts in America, white people in America. So if it is a smaller pool of people that support me, I think.
Got you.
Just because that's who our market is.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
You're targeting your market.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Not saying that we've had a lot. Don't get me wrong. We have a lot of other people that support us, but our market is majority of the minority. Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So that could be a challenge, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. It could work out for you too, honestly.
Yeah. I never really consider that a challenge because I'm here to serve my people too. Like,
let's go.
That's my purpose. Like, I'm good.
Let's go.
Sorry. The thing is too, since with the whole pandemic happening, a lot of people's eyes opened when it came to like the racial injustice and stuff like that. So, honestly, it's gonna work even more in your favor than now. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Nah, that's definitely, you hit it right in those, TC. Definitely. And as far as that, like for talk about what have done for the community and what advice would you give to people that is listening? How can they give back to the community?
I think being present is huge. Like, you don't always have the funding or finances to support something, but just maybe the posting is huge. Showing up to a community cleanup is huge. Lending a hand, at the very least, these things, are free, and then on top of that, you can support by, funding and, donating, whatever it may be in the community. But for us, we try to do things that are in line with the brand. We do a community basketball games. We sponsor an urban farm here in Newark. We're about to do a food give back September 4th in collaboration with Good Garbs. That's going to be headed here at our store. So just doing whatever you can, to aid and to, contribute towards the upward mobility of our people. I know that's kind of like NAACP like slogan, but it's what it is. Like, whether
it's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, 100%, man. Whatever you can do is what you can do. So.
And have you seen some of the benefits of reaching out to the community? Have they reached back by supporting you?
Oh yeah, man. Like, it's crazy, and it's not like we did that for that reason.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just because like we have the means to do it, and let's just do it. So,
you know, it's when you do right, blessings always come back your way.
For sure.
You know,
that's a
time,
fact,
but it comes back. So I like that mindset. You just, when you generally just want to be a good person, you normally get blessed at the end of the day. No questions about it. So
100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of blessings, I heard you mention God before. Has religion played a part in how you comport yourself as a CEO and running a business? And if so, how has it?
Yeah, definitely. Religion and spirituality. As a young kid, I was super like Christian.
No, I can tell. I got that vibe from you.
Thank you, man. I have a strong relationship with God, and could be better. Everyone's could be better, but I definitely lean on Him always and try my best to portray myself to the best of my ability in God's light, God's word. So I mean, it's super important to have a basis, a foundation, a structure. Just like I said, even with family, that's huge. Having that with the higher power is even more important. I think it keeps you grounded, and it gives you standards, for yourself. So I'm blessed to have been brought up in a household that influenced that in my life, and it carries on into, like you said, into my leadership. So yeah.
So, I mean, when you're lost, if you're facing challenges as a CEO, do you take time out to pray and to really talk to God, and if you do, how does that provide you some comfort?
Yeah, man, I think my praying is literally like talking out loud, just like, or talking to my mind, just like I'm talking to myself, but it's to God. So it's to a point where I don't even recognize anymore that I'm talking to Him. But it's just like, and also it's like also having the willingness to listen too is huge. One thing my mom taught me early was like sometimes signs happen in life that, sorry, some flies in here, that indicate that you should kind of be still to receive God's messages and words. So random times of the day I call them downloads, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I got to receive this and apply it to my playbook, So these wisdoms, like a lot of times, are all around us as people, but so many people just don't listen, and it's super important to be still and listen. Be still and listen, because that's where the wisdom's coming. Those crevices in time, man. So,
say that again, what you just said.
That was a whole bazooka right there. That's a gem. Yeah.
Facts.
You gotta listen. You gotta listen. You gotta listen and be still. Like sometimes you just gotta like literally be still. Go into a quiet room. Not even on no meditation stuff. Just like, all right, what is being said, and the more you do it, the better you can kind of like listen out to God's word. So yeah.
Ooh.
Definitely. Amen. And amen. Ashe.
Yo, y'all are hilarious, man.
Oh
my God.
So, what mental health for as a CEO, do you think for your teammates also mental health is important?
Huge. Especially with the times we're in, man, whether it be the COVID lockdown or there's so much stuff going on in the world. And that pressure, like I said, accumulates. So if you're not self-regulating and being self-aware, it'll take you down. And also, structure around you, family structure around you, spiritual structure around you. When you have that, it's easy to succumb to the ways of the world, the ways like it's crazy right now. So I think we have a very open team where things are easily communicated to each other about how we're feeling. Could be better. I don't think it's the best, but I'm really happy where we're at. We're always improving. But that's something we've also been talking about. One of my team members, Kenny James. He just graduated from St. John's, master's in psychology,
Nice.
and he's killing it, yo. So he's always adamant about us kind of putting together some type of mental health situation for the community. That's something we're talking about right now, with how we can structure that so it's very accessible to people in our community to come in and talk, and receive some clarity and just self peace. So it's super huge, whether you're an entrepreneur or whoever, a human being. Mental health is health. So it's like it's very important, very important. Even for me, I'm a young father. I'm a 2-year-old. Nice. I have a business.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Definitely congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. So it gets hectic, you know what I mean? Whether it be with him or my lady or business, dealing with staff, it gets hectic and pressure is on. So if I'm not self-regulating and being self-aware, like, all right, Jess, you need to go fishing or you need to go be still, or you need to go chill, then, it's easy. So having the ability to be self-aware enough to be like, all right, I can feel myself getting to a point I'm not really feeling. Let me communicate with my team, take a day off, and boom. I mean, that's nothing but honorable. You know what I mean? You communicating. Because it's like, I think a lot of times also in our community about mental health, vulnerability is looked down upon. When actually, vulnerability is super, it shows confidence, you know what I mean? That you can kind of trust the people around you to treat that, with respect, understanding, support. Right. And if they can't, then you got to reevaluate, the people around you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my stance on it.
And it's so important for the Black community, especially Black men, because we was never really taught about mental health. We was always taught just to suck it up, be a man in their terms, and just keep doing what you're doing. And I like that you recognize that. And even any kind of way giving that back to the community is making a big difference, because especially in this day and age, how we getting killed off like it's like an arcade game. It's crazy.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's true. For the past few years, I'm like, damn, it's like Grand Theft Auto. Like, what's going on? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm crying,
yo. How much time we got left, Justice?
Maybe 10 minutes or so. Just gotta go take my cousin home.
Okay, so that 10 minutes. All right. Any questions, guys? Before since we got 10 minutes.
I got several. So for your customer.
Oh man, I mean it's 8:40, so you said 10 minutes. We gotta respect time.
Of course, I'm gonna hit them with 2 quick questions. I guess the first question is for your customer base. When they wear your clothing, what kind of message do you want them to convey to the world? When they wear your clothing, where are they going? What are they doing?
100%. That's something we've been talking about, because it's by design. You have, like you said, it has to be a thought when you're making the clothes, thinking about branding, thinking about photo shoots. What message am I putting across? And I think for us, it's multiple things. It's, a level of class, style. We really focus also on the quality of the t-shirt. So you want to feel good. You want to feel like it's something that's like, which we are, just super luxury or damn near close to it. So
if I'm going to a 5-star restaurant, could I wear Brownmill clothing?
You could, whether it be a rugby, a polo, we got coming. And that's the thing too. We're a cross section between prep and streetwear. So, we have something from both occasions, the in between. So, like I said, I'm super inspired by bespoke tailoring of London. My background is in tailoring, so doing suiting, for clients at my old jobs. Those are all things that kind of add to the Brownmill pot, as far as influence. So very soon, even for our next collections, you're going to see a lot more options that are, streetwear, a little more experimental, a little bit more dressy, especially heading into fall where you have the ability to layer. We're going to be doing some really cool stuff. So, yeah.
But now I'm trying to get drippy. That's one of the reasons why he's asking.
Yeah. Well, yo, you laugh. I'm so serious. They know this. I don't really have fashion sense, and my wallet is kind of tight, so it's tough to try to find a balance. and drippy is a new concept for me in general. I literally learned about drippy maybe about a month ago. So I want to go to your store and come out just soaking wet, just completely.
My man said my wallet kind of tight though. So hold up, what can you do for me, fam? I need help.
Can I get a DC Essentials discount? Can I get a DC Essentials discount?
We gonna work it out. I got you, man. I appreciate the self-awareness.
Oh yeah, that's all I got.
So pretty much, Nyron. So you might as well just ask him about, like, let's say if I go to your store and I'm asking for advice, how can I get drippy wet? You might as well just say that, Nyron.
I want the hottest chick on the block in Jersey to give me a double take. Wear your clothing. You see what I'm saying? How do I get that?
We got you. Come to the store. We have a team of experienced, intellectual salesmen and staff that will help coordinate outfits, that will, hook you up. So we got you, man.
I'm 6'2", about 235.
6'2"? Oh wow.
Yeah. So does your clothing fit a big guy like me?
Hey, I'm 250 wet, man. I'm 5'11", 250. So
okay,
I got you,
right.
man. If I can look good, you can look good.
Awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, brother.
The final question I have for you, whenever we interview entrepreneurs, we always get the broad generic answers of, like, you got to work hard, you got to stay consistent. And I know we don't have that much time, but how did you get that transition from selling clothes in a basement to having a legitimate business recognized by the U.S. government? How did you make
wow.
transition? What were some of the key steps?
Working hard, working smart, more than hard, being disciplined, and having mentors. Those 4 things. Mentors. Okay. My girl calls me a mentor whore. So listen, the Bible says, I forgot the quote, but always consult good counsel. A person has to have good counsel. So, even now I called, one of my mentors yesterday for, something I've been thinking about with my staff. And I'm glad I did, because he made me think about things in a completely different direction than what I was thinking, and actually turned my decision I was about to make completely around, which I'm super grateful for. So always being a student is huge. Mentors are super important.
Okay.
I like that.
Yes. TC, anything? Because I have like 2 questions, and then that's it. We can close out.
My questions is about purchasing something for the rest.
All right. So, okay. So, so I'm gonna ask this last question, and then after, for the audience, you can give your final thoughts or advice for them. So for you, how can people think ahead? Like, if they're entrepreneurs, if they are running a business, how can they think ahead for their business?
How can you think ahead?
You mean like planning?
Huh?
You mean like planning?
Yeah, like let's say, okay, they have their store in New Jersey. So now their next plan for the next 5 years, they're going to have a store in Orange.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's literally like, I don't think there's a step in between. It's literally doing that, like saying, okay, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, and then figuring out, okay, what are the steps I need to get there? Whether it's increasing sales, do I need to increase my staff? Do I need to, whatever? You just literally have to think ahead and plan. I mean, if you aren't naturally, then stagnancy is inevitable. So, you got to literally envision consistently, yourself in a better place or the next place, and think about those steps. The steps.
Definitely. I'm sorry. Just real quick, just for the audience, I'm sorry. 5, 10, 20 years, where's Brownmill going?
5, 10, 20 years. 5 years. Definitely want to have an additional store somewhere. either somewhere in Africa or like Japan. Yeah, you got to bring it home. You got even
bring it home to Japan.
No,
bring it home to Japan. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were Japanese. My fault.
Yo, Naira, you on 10, bro. Come on. Oh man, Africa, man. We gotta build this circular global Black economy. Because if we leave it to our counterparts to show, what our family over there is living like and doing, they're always going to depict this as something, just super unbecoming. Whether it be
absolutely.
So we got to change the narrative for ourselves. Forget the global world. We got to change the narrative for ourselves as a global Black people. So that's so important to make sure we reach over and make that stretch. They reach back, and we kind of build that bridge and arm. So
I love that.
Yeah, man.
I wasn't expecting that answer. I thought you were gonna probably say, "Yeah, maybe New York or the next part of Jersey."
Nah, man.
That's
Listen,
a ball.
We about to. People think it's just clothes, but it's something bigger we got going on here, man. Our new thing with our season 2 collection is leading our people to the promised land, and the story of Moses uses the story of Moses as a parallel for leadership. Moses, he led his people, with God's strength, out of Egypt, and people don't know, but Moses died before he went to the promised land. He never got to see it, and
sort of
it's
like Martin Luther King.
Exactly. Even the night before he was assassinated, he made that speech. But it's like, what efforts are you taking to get the people there? Because it's more than yourself. It's the heritage. It's your down the line. Got to make this happen. So anyway, I said to say, it's more than just clothes. It's leading our people to upper mobility globally through the Caribbean, through South America, to Africa. Because we got to. I get into other reasons, but we got to.
I'm sure the Japanese would really appreciate it.
Right. You're not gonna let that one down.
You're not letting that go, Naira, right? Huh?
He said Japan.
He said Japan. Really?
Japan's a motherland.
The Japanese people.
Oh man,
Okay.
the story, the story of Moses. You hit it. Like I think that's another podcast for itself.
But listen, we can even get deeper for the Moses part, because it's like people also don't know that Moses had a speech impediment, and it wasn't him talking.
Yes,
it wasn't him talking to Pharaoh. I forgot the gentleman's name. It was his guy. Talking to him, probably some type of oratorian that could really convey a message. So that leaves another topic of teamwork, and it's just you can't do it by yourself. Even leading millions of people out of Egypt through the Red Sea. So it goes deep, man. And that there's so many layers to that story that I definitely want to continue to pick on and use as inspiration for our clothes and our lifestyle. But so yeah.
Let's go. All right. Final before we close out. Final thoughts, advice for the audience.
And where can we find you?
Absolutely. Social media too. Yes.
Advice: be diligent. Whatever you do, be diligent. Don't follow your dreams. Follow your dreams with diligence. Because I dropped out of college. Everybody's like, "What the fuck?" I went to Rutgers for free, but I just couldn't do it. And started Brownmill, but I treated Brownmill as if it was a university. You know what I mean? I showed up every day early, did my homework, So be diligent. That's my only advice. And 2, our social medias, Brownmill Company on Instagram, Brownmill, Brown like the color, MILL, company spelled out. Website, www.brownmillcompany.com. My personal social media is my name spelled backwards, Justis. It's SITSUJ. So thank you, gentlemen, for your time and opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Yo,
no
definitely.
doubt, always. Sorry so much back and forth. This week has been crazy.
Oh, you good, man.
No, you
good. No, you're a Black entrepreneur. You get all the space you need to do.
Get all the space you need, right?
Thank you, man.
When you go to Japan, let us know.
Yeah, please.
I'm done. You got to make a shirt about that now.
I knew it was coming.
Wanted to go to Africa, ended up in Tokyo.
Make that a shirt.
Tokyo, Nigeria. One second, guys.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Like you gotta go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. I
this
appreciate
is episode 29, y'all. All right, bro.
Peace, fellas. Thank you again.
Peace.
No problem.
All right. That's for the books.
I need to leave right there. Shit.
That's for the books. Well, what I'm gonna do, that's for the books, y'all.
All right.
That's it.
That's what knowing that bomber jacket's coming back on sale.
Obama jackets. Oh, they got a don't get me. I'm about to what? I'm about to buy some right after this show. What's good? All right, y'all. That's episode 29. We out. On to the next one.
All right. See ya.